Hey everyone, Corey here coming in to do the weekly energy update for February the 19th. So this week I am still in audio, still off recovering from my spinal fusion surgery, and this is 1 month today, and I am happy to report that I am doing extremely well with the recovery, and and I have to be very aware that I'm just because I'm feeling okay, that I still have a spine that is still trying to fuse itself together, and um, that it still needs its healing time. Just like anything that's being has to set like a foundation, a concrete foundation. It needs its time before we build on it, before we move forward. And that's kind of with the energy today. So we do have a shift in energy that is happening today that is just telling us that, there is a movement. It is the end of a 15-year cycle. We have come through some big changes, some big shifts, but it takes time for things to settle. So there has been some big storm energy. We've had some big rise ups. We have some shake-ups. We've also had some things rise and exist within ourselves and then leave. So we had maybe feeling some of those endings, some of those old emotions, and it's not that they're coming in, it's that they were leaving. And the end of some of that rocky, stormy times is coming to an end. And the beginning of a new day, a new dawn is starting. With the beginning of that new day and new dawn, it means that shift in your own personal energy takes time for you to be ready. So not everything is going to be like sunshine and roses, of course, tomorrow, but it is a big energy day. Today is a big energy day that many who have looked back to what 2009 was like for you, 2000 and probably end of 2008, going into 2009, what was happening in 2009 for many, not for all. I know for Aries, definitely was the beginning of a big, 15-year cycle that probably has been a massive shift, change. You begin probably a process of beginning something, and now you've just come through an end, you've completed something. So this week, the energy speaks of mastering, you know, accomplishing. It's like getting a degree. You're finally able to say you have mastered something. You've overcome something. You're wiser because of an experience. You've gained wisdom through an experience. You're beginning to begin again, start again, moving and shifting into a new sense of what have I learned over the past few years. We're also being stretched. There's also a stretching of energy, and it just feels like it is like um, your days may feel like they're kind of being stretched out. Like it feels like the day is taking forever for the day to go, taking forever for time to pass, taking forever for something to begin in your life. Like you're waiting for something new, you're waiting for this new beginning, and it's like it just needs this time. So things may feel like it's a turtle pace right now, but always remember the turtle wins the race. So sometimes it's incubation period. Sometimes things we're waiting for in life needs that time, just like the healing time. It needs time to fuse things together, for things to come together. It's been like this big explosive energy for so long, and we've been in this explosive kind of energy. Now we need time for things to settle. We don't try in the water. You don't try to pick out the murky in the water. You wait for the water to settle instead of keep stirring it up. So it may be a week to be at peace. It may be a week to bite your tongue. It may be a week to just sit back and wait and just know that good things, new things, blessings are on their way. It just needs time. And so this week may be that. You may also see great things showing up. We always got great things that are happening, along with all the other stuff that is happening that is out of our control. So in between all of the jigs and rigs, I say, but in between everything that is taking place, there is something new. It's like something new. It's finally sticking its head in, like popping its head into this new energy. So there is some major changes that are taking place. For myself, I'm still really struggling with being able to speak for long periods of time, to channel big messages, to give all this. And I have so much I want to share and so much I want to be able to give. And I'm like, why can't I just get well enough to be able to give that out? And they're like, there's no rush. There's no rush, right? Why are you trying to make things happen? And every day is a magical day. Every moment is an opportunity. And so if every moment and every day, then you're not going to lose your day. You're not going to lose your moment. What is needed and the time it's needed will appear in our lives. And that's being very much that wise teacher energy that's coming in through the energy for us this week, to really trust that. Because there's all these little sparks, and it's just all this new sparks of energy is beginning, and it's just a matter of time before it clicks, right? And it just feels like it's like, as we move forward into March, as we move forward, we're going to see like lots of little things begin to click, things begin to make sense. We have aha moments, epiphanies. All of these things are starting out for us, and it's just such a refreshing energy to finally be able to receive this in the messages, that I feel this refresh. I feel this sense of like finally getting some new things. Everything has been on such repeat for such a long period of time. And then I look and I see other people talking about, um, some of the heavier things like, why is no one talking to the darkness that we have to exist in, or the changes, or the death of the soul, or those things? Well, been talking about those damn things on this channel for several years. I did write More Than Existing. We did put out those books. We did create those, and we speak about the death of the soul. We speak about the death of the ego. Sorry, the death of the ego, the ending of the ego's journey through karmatic lessons and blessings and changes and soul discovery. There's just been so much conversation, but it depends on who you've been around and where they have been placed, and what journeys they have been on. So maybe it's just you're going to find yourself finding your place, find yourself in new places, listening to new things. I'm into revitalization. I'm like, this is where we're finally getting to feel the energy. Now, the world itself is human time and divine time doesn't work on the same energy. So the human time is going to need time to really catch up. And it may be a few years, maybe another few years before we see all this, but doesn't mean we stay back in all the human energy and what's happening. If you've been doing the work, if you've been going through the journey, if you've been going through these changes, then you may be ahead of the game. If you're just beginning, then you're not being left behind. You're not being left out. It is your exact time. And I have so many previous videos and teachings and classes and playlists. I suggest going and checking out, especially the Academy, the More Than Existing Academy. I've got one class from a whole bunch of my teachings like that I've shared in YouTube. Go check them out. There is a 3-class free introduction of More Than Existing, and there's 3 powerful videos there that may resonate with you. Go check those out, listen to those. If you're just beginning and you're really stepping into that death of the ego type of journey, or shadow work, or self-actualization, just coming into your first stage of awakening, whatever that may be, got ya. I got something there that may be able to help you. And as a channel, and as someone who really truly walks as a mystic, is that always there's there's always different energies and different stages and times and places, and the predictions. The future already exists, it's already there, but your future, what's waiting for you, is not going to happen without you. Don't worry about being left out. I speak about this in the yearly update as well for 2024. You're not missing out on anything. Don't let yourself get caught in the old programming that you have to rush, you have to jump into something, you got to try to get ahead of the game. It's that dog eat dog old mentality. It's that old competitive energy. Get your head out of there. Don't get caught up in it. It's bullshit. Let me just say that. There's so many people who've walked before us, who've already done this. There's so many people coming who've gone through their journey. That's why there's so much wisdom, so much there. But this is the exciting thing. There's so many new people who are starting to finally, be curious, starting to recognize things in themselves that this just don't make sense. Why am I just accepting this? Why am I not questioning this? And this is what makes it so thrilling and so revitalizing, is you're feeling the energy of people opening, awakening. It's like blossoming flowers. People are beginning to bloom. Remember this always, the bloom doesn't last forever. You don't want to live your life as a bloom. A bloom is going to die. You want to be the tree that keeps on going through its cycle, that continual change. We will have many changes in our lives. We'll go through many changes in our lives. We'll experience so many things, and it's the joy is in the journey. The most powerful thing we can do is to be the best human being that we can be, to truly be that human, to feel that sense of being alive, to be alive in our human existence, to be here to be human. That's everything more than existence, more than existing is. And more than existing is my trademark, it is my brand, it is everything that it speaks of, that taking that responsibility for our lives, taking the ownership to really truly look in. It's my job to make me happy. It's my job to bring me to life. It's my job to feel alive. It's my job to be able to look at all perspectives and all sides. There's a level of maturing and growing and developing. It's time for us to grow up spiritually and emotionally. Emotional intelligence, spiritual growth, all of those things are all playing out big time in this energy. And now it's like in a bloom. And it's so excited to see this bloom energy happening, to see it finally taking life. And there's always a new bud, there's always a new seed, there's all those things. So you may be the seed, you may have been not, you may be just planting the seeds, you may be the seed, you may be the bud, you may be in the blossom. Each and every one has its equal importance. Each and every stage that we are in is not to be rushed, because then that takes us back in trying to control where we are going, what we are doing. Is to honor that stage, that moment, that experience, whatever it may be for you. Just really, truly honor it right now. Honor it in somebody else, that your partners, your people in your life, we're not all going to be in the same stage. And we can get so frustrated. We can try to push people to be somewhere that they're not ready to be. Honor where people are. And if someone is ahead of you, that's totally okay. Really, truly, admire them. Look in at that. Don't be envious. Don't be jealous. Don't let those creepy little crawly little weeds in that choke out the green grass, as I call it. Stay true to you this week. Stay true to you through February, through March, through life, through all of these experiences that we see unfolding. But I can tell you that the energy that I feel, I do know there is a shift, but when these shifts happen, we still got to exist in the good, bad, and the ugly. It is still happening, still being there. And we may find ourselves, choosing to just say, oh God, like I feel like I'm waking up and I really don't like that no more, and I don't want to be a part of that anymore, and I don't want to do that no more. Um, and that sometimes is okay. And sometimes we revisit things that we walked away from. You may revisit relationships with friends that you may have had to step away from, step back from, and now you're ready to walk back in. You may revisit old work you may have done, old hobbies you had, old things that were of the past, and you're like, oh, we thought we're too good for that. Our ego is a powerful thing, and that death of the ego is a real thing. Also, there's such an importance to, and this may not be easy for everyone to understand, and I'll explain it more when I come back in as well, but because I have so much to share. So that sense of dying while we are alive, to die while we're alive. And it's so important to die while we're alive. We don't just die once while we're alive, we die many times. It's like shedding layers. It's like that jawbreaker. You want to get to the truest of you. You want to get to that truth. There's so much to be shed, because the big key thing that you really are is you are a collection of other people's thoughts spoken. Let me start this again. You are a creation of other people's thoughts and opinions and knowledge, spoken out loud, received by you, made you question, doubt yourself, or may have believed that that was to inspire you to be that version of you. But is it really, truly your thoughts, your beliefs, your opinions, your knowledge. Who are you? If you had to leave every story behind, who would you be? If you were to strip down naked back from every belief that was pushed on you, every bit of programming in schools, through life, and you were to stand raw and naked with absolutely nothing but just this soul of you, just the self, and just this human flesh and bones and body, and you were to look at it all the way back to what you were originally put here as, what would that be? Who would that be? And not you creating a different version of that, but what would you be looking at? There is a truth in there that matters. And rediscovering and building from that strong foundation is very big, is a very big part of how we begin to move forward. And not saying we don't always have ego, but we recognize the power of the ego. The ego is here to create, to get us to what makes us comfortable. We learn and discover by walking the path of the uncomfortable. If all sheep is going one way, we go the other. We beat that path. And that is really speaking to us again on such a level that just says there's so many new perspectives when we release the hurts, when we release the pain, when we let the past go, when we look at taking that responsibility for our own lives. It's like, how did we make our own enemy within ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we thought were not good enough, not enough as they were? We made the enemy our best friend. And the enemy is created in our own mind. And we made it our best friend. And we listened to that as well, as much as outside interference, right? And so all of this then creates this best friend from the ego self and those thoughts. If you were to eradicate, to clear out those thoughts and just ask the divine, be with that divine self and ask, who am I really? Why do I believe that? What am I doing? And so there's just so much power in this, and I just could go on forever, but I don't really, I just have so much more that I want to share in another video where I will do it as a video. Um, and so much of my experience over the past 4 weeks, so much of my experience of a dying experience and going through the tunnel. I just got so much I want to share with you from my heart, from my soul, from where I have been, from my 20 something years of living in absolute hell within my body and pain, and moving beyond that and having my spine, shifted, having it opened up, and having that, it's like a capsule was opening up inside of me, and feeling all that sacral energy, and reconnecting after writing, 7 books and my oracle cards and all the teachings, and to feel this release within myself and to now exist in this body, in this experience. There's just so many things that kind of are bringing like threads mapping through my body and body mapping, and the whole experience is all together. And I look forward to being able to share this with you. But for now, I want to tell you this week has a level of excitement, enthusiasm about new journeys, new experiences as we're moving forward. There's a bit of a royal energy in here. If your crown is tilted, straighten your crown, just get back. And so there is a like velour, velvety, it's smooth, it's silky, it's soothing. That's what the energy feels like, but it also feels harsh and rough. And there's non-comfortableness coming with this energy as well. And it feels very uncomfortable to stay in the light. And when you get a compliment and you're like, someone says, oh, you look so good today. And you're like, uh, and you blush and you turn whatever, it's so hard to accept a compliment. Well, that's the same thing as staying in the light of God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, sun, moon, stars, I don't care. And so staying in that energy and being present in that and letting yourself stay in it, it's the same thing as accepting the compliment and just simply saying thank you, and then being proud of yourself and saying, yeah, I am really proud of myself, I have really done that. It's the same type of thing, being able to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, because there is a beautiful shift and change that is happening. I send you much love this week. I look forward to sharing so much more. Like I said, I have so much more to share. I have so much that I want to channel and speak to the divine and share it with you. It will all come in my coming videos. And I will see you back here in video in a few weeks But in the meantime, have a beautiful week. And no, this is a leap year, so there's one more day in February this year. And yeah, just know that you're being stretched and pulled, and it may be stretching you to think outside the box to finally let something go. Let Archangel Michael come in, help you cut the cords, blah, blah, blah. Archangel Raphael for the healing, just so, so much. I will see you all in a few weeks. And if you love these videos, please like them, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please feel free to share out my work. And there's a lot of little reels that are on Instagram and Facebook as well right now that have little bleeps from different little pieces of my teachings and my work. Check them out. I send you much love. Beautiful week. See you soon.